guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Margaret and I'm a homeschooling mom to an only child who is in 5th grade. In today's video, I am going to be doing a video on curriculum planning, how I plan, and how do we come up with decisions on what we decide and what are we looking into for the next school year for 2023 to take that back. Actually, 2024 to 2025. Wow, that seems like it just flew right through. So, before I even start, if you're new and you would like to follow our homeschool journey, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that red notification bell so you can be notified for upcoming videos that I'll be making. I usually make homeschooling videos, motherhood, grocery hauls, and that sort of thing. So before I start planning the school year, I actually talk to my son and I see on what does he enjoy. Would he like to stay with it, or would he go ahead and be interested to doing a little research? Now I take him along with me when we do the research, so that way he could see samples, if there's any videos, if there's like extra books, that sort of thing. And that way he could see what it would be like. Sometimes if I see a video on that curriculum and they do like a day in the life or do a lesson with me and that sort of thing, I do have him watch it with me. That way he could see how it really is. So when we go ahead and we watch those videos or day in the lives, and I'll ask my son, how does that look to him? Does it seem like it's something that he will enjoy? And we'll basically go off of that. And obviously, I would look at reviews, talk about them in homeschool groups on Facebook, and just to get a better idea how it really is. Now, there's gonna be quite a few changes for his upcoming 6th grade. And some things I'm gonna stay the same, but there's a little changes that I do want to make. Now I'm gonna start listing and just things that I'm gonna be talking about, what I'm doing research on, and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna start with language arts. Language arts has been a tricky thing that I really want to change. So I'm not sure if I'm posting the updated one on our language arts before this or after this, but if it's after, I guess it's kind of a little spoiler. So right now we are currently using the Saxon Grammar and Writing Level 5. And I did not even know that they had a Saxon Grammar and Writing, and so I did a little research last year. And we are going to change that. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It's just we don't like the sentence diagramming. That is not our thing. We are not sentence diagramming people. And he does amazing on it, but it's not something that we are going to be looking for in a curriculum that we actually look into. Another thing that I do look for when I am currently looking into curriculum, now my son's going to be in middle school, so I want to look for something that is going to go all the way through high school. I don't want to change once he gets into 8th grade. Now, another reason why I also want to switch now is because the Saxon Grammar and Writing only goes up to level 7 or 8. I can't remember which one it is. I believe it's 8. And I don't want to go ahead and get up to there and then I get to go ahead and find something else. So that is another thing. I just want to go ahead and find something that just goes all the way to high school. That way we don't really have to switch anything. Now I'm going to list a couple of things on what we were doing research on. One of them was going back to IEW. My son really isn't into the whole IEW. He just wasn't a fan of it. He just felt really overwhelmed with it. But if I broke it up, I explained to him that that could be a possibility on working it, and if it takes longer, it takes longer. It wasn't really a big thing to me. But he was really hesitant about going back to IEW. He loves to fix the grammar, but the writing, he just wasn't a fan. He loves the teacher, just the writing. He felt really overwhelmed, and with all the checklists, it just wasn't really for him. Another program I was looking into, and that was EIW, and I was really into it, but the video seemed so boring to him. And I didn't like that it had the grammar and the writing. We like doing our own grammar, so we did it. We would do IEW, and I just thought that it wasn't really for us for that one. Another program that I'm also looking into is BJU English. It was either going to be 6 or 5 because I heard it's a little advanced. Now, I did like how it alternates between the grammar and the writing. I really like the idea of that. But when I was looking at the teacher's guide, it overwhelmed me so much. When I was seeing these samples, I felt really overwhelmed. And I don't want to find a curriculum that just works for my son. I want to find something that's gonna be okay with me as well. Now, I really do like that. I also saw that people felt like the writing wasn't enough, so they were substituting it with IEW or EIW, and that's something that I didn't want to do. Another program that I was also looking into is learning language arts through literature, and I do like the idea of the literature, but I already know that I'm using a different literature program, so I didn't really find that that would be good for us because we'll be using a separate literature. And I wanted to, if I was going to find a program like that where it's all in one, I wanted to use all the parts. So, I could skip it, but I'm not too sure on that. Another program is Lightning Literature, and I heard nothing but amazing things. And then you could go ahead and get the bundle with the books, and I thought that that was really great. But it has sentence diagramming, and I don't like that. Another thing about Lightning Literature is that it has the books. Even though it's great that you could get it with the bundle, again, we're using our own literature program. Well, not our own, but one that we like. So, there's that. And I really feel like this might be a good option for us. So, Master Books, I know you're probably like, Master Books, but you just said in one of my other videos. But yes, Master Books came out with the new level 7. And I was looking at it, and it actually released today. And I looked at the PDF sample, and it looks great. It really does. I feel that it is a lot better than the younger years. I really do. I feel like it has more writing. It feels like to me that it has more vocabulary. I like that they do the spelling in the beginning of the week instead of the end of the week. It looks amazing, and I really like it. I showed the sample to my son, and he said that he really likes it and that he kind of wants to go back to Master Books. He was pretty much excited when I showed it to him. I think that would be pretty much a good fit for us, but I'm still going to do more research on it. Again, it just came out today, and it's only for the PDF, but I do want to get the physical, so I'm just going to go ahead to wait. What I like about it too, it's more Bible than Saxon doesn't have the Bible, and The Good and the Beautiful was very mild on it. So this is more compared like Generations actually. So I think that would be good. So for our literature, if you've been following, we actually use Generations for our literature. So actually we're just gonna go ahead and continue with the level 6. Now for this one, it's not with God's Story. You get 3 books for it, and it's God's Smuggler, it's The Pilgrim's Progress, and it's Heidi. And I really love the 2 books that are in it, which is Pilgrim's Progress and Heidi. I've never read the other one, God's Smuggler, but I did hear a lot of good things about all of it. And I heard that the books are really great from Generations. So this will be our first time getting like little physical books from them. We really love Generations, so I'd rather just stick with that. Now, moving on to math. If you seen my video about our math update, if not, I'll go ahead and link it. But we decided to switch to Saxon, and right now it's going great. But before I did that switch, I was actually looking into Matthew C. Now, because my son loves Saxon so much, I'm not going to go ahead and look into switching him. He enjoys it. So that's pretty much what we'll be doing for math. I don't want to change if it's working for him. And if he enjoys it, that's okay. So we're just going to go ahead and leave the math alone. Now for science, this one has been really tricky. My son loves science. He really does. So we were actually debating between 2 sciences, and we couldn't make a decision because my son loves both of them. And I don't want to switch back and forth because that's pretty much what we did this year. We did 2 sciences, just alternating between the 2. Now, my son's 2 favorite science curriculum is Generations and Apologia. He absolutely loves Apologia because they have little activities, they have the crossword puzzles, and he really likes those. He does like to do experiments. We don't do all of them, but we do some of them. Now for Generations, it's pretty much like a bookwork type of thing. You don't have a lot of activities, once in a while. There are where you could go ahead and look at videos, and also Apologia does that as well. But when it came deciding, it was really, really hard. So we're just still kind of looking into it. For the science by Generations, we are looking at God Made Life. That would be his grade level that he would be coming up next, and it's actually the last level from Generations. Now for Apologia, they have a lot that he hasn't done. So we've only done 1 of Apologias. No, actually it's 2, because 1 we're doing for science and 1 we're doing for health because it's mandatory in our state. And we're still gonna move on with that one to next year because we didn't do it every day. It's only maybe twice or 3 times a week. So we're gonna move on with that. But for our main science, we were doing flying creatures on the 5th day, the very first zoology one. And he's actually pretty much almost finished, got 1 more lesson left, and he's done with that. But we were actually looking into either the zoology 2, which is the swimming creatures, or he was looking into. Now the other one that we were looking into for Apologia, and that was the earth science. I feel that the thing is, he would love both, but I feel like he might be into the earth science more than the swimming creatures. But we're gonna go ahead and just see what he'll be into, if he wants to do that, or if he would just rather just stick to Generations. But again, like I said, I want to find something that's gonna go all the way through high school, and Apologia does that. Now for history. History is one of our top favorite subjects. We both are history lovers. We really are. and we have used a lot of history. So this past year, we have found our favorite history program, and that is Generations. We are currently using Taking Africa for Jesus. Now, for the next year would be the 6th level, and it is Taking Europe for Jesus. And it looks amazing. I seen 2 flip throughs here on YouTube, and I've seen the samples, and it looks great. That's actually what made me fall in love with Generations, is when I seen the flip through on those, and it looks great. But my only thing was, I didn't want to really just stick with another world history. I wanted some American history. Then I was looking into going back to Knotgrass, but my son really wasn't into it. I really wanted to do America the Beautiful, but he just really wanted to stick with Generations. So what I might do is add some things to it. So what I was thinking of doing to add a little American history was adding some read alouds. So I was actually looking into doing it 2 different things. So I know my son might be a little older for the who was and what was, but I was thinking of adding those books, and maybe about once a month do one of them. And then I was also looking into doing the Beautiful Feet books, but not the whole curriculum, just the read alouds. Like, we'll go ahead and look at specific time frame that we are wanting to read about, and go ahead and look in those book bundles, and that way we could go ahead and add it. That way he can go ahead and not just have some world history, but he could go ahead and have some American history through literature. And we have done that in the past, and he really does enjoy it. We'll go ahead and we would do it in our morning basket, and we actually enjoyed it before we started school, doing our Bible with our read aloud, and we really didn't like it, but we were doing so much, so we were just basically skipping our morning basket. And I really want to add our morning basket back in, and I thought that that would be fun to go ahead and have our Bible and go ahead and have our literature that we want to read. Now, when it comes to that, we will do it together. I would go ahead and put it on our TV for a read aloud and just go ahead and relax, and that way we could go ahead and have discussion questions after. So I think that I might consider doing that. We'll go ahead and pick which ones we want to do. So that is what we have been looking into for our 2024 to 2025 school year. For the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be really looking into everything to make sure that that is what we want to do. I usually buy our curriculum around April, but I might wait just in case that I want to change my mind on some things, because that does happen to me. But most likely I would go ahead and make another video on what we did decide, like a curriculum review and that sort of thing. But until next time, I'll go ahead and talk to you guys later. Bye.